When's the last time you took the train?
The Dan Yorke State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Taco Comfort Solutions.
You know, we, over the course, usually over the spring and the summer, but around the calendar, we produce programs here that are sometimes new to you, sometimes a repeat for you, but general in subject matter and usually kind of loosey-goosey and always a learning lesson for me and then I hope for you. I am not exactly sure, forgive me, what particular night you're watching this program in its newness, but I'm sure it'll happen before the air show because part of what we're going to talk about is a cool thing that happens at the air show and has since 2016. But our guest tonight, and when we have programs like this, I'm not reflecting on the issues of the day because we've recorded it a little bit earlier on in the calendar. So sit back and relax and think about the train industry. Our guest here this evening is operating in the industry here locally, but I'm told has lots of thoughts about what the current status of train transportation is and should be and what it could be. And I will tell you, I wouldn't say that I'm overly fascinated by the train industry, but whenever I get on one, even at this stage of the game, whenever I get on one, I just want, man, this is so cool. I should do this more. It's kind of like bowling. You know, when I go bowling, you can drag me to go bowling. And then, you know, you spend a Friday night with your friends bowling and say, you know what, we should do this every Friday night. And then you don't do it for months on end. It's kind of how I ride trains. Yeah, Lexi says she's asked me to go bowling. Well, you never asked me to go on a train, did you? Here's a headline from a couple of years ago, the newness of the historic train rail to transportation for patrons at the air show. And the president of Seaview Transportation is Eric Moffat, who's a big train guy. Welcome. Nice to have you.
Good to be here. It's fun.
Is it fair to say you're a train guy?
Oh, we're all train guys. Yeah.
What do you mean we're all train guys? Who? We? Who's we?
All us in the industry. If you're not in the train guy, you're not in the industry. If you're in the industry, you're a train guy.
Tell me what you do.
Simple. We move freight by rail. So we're down at the
you're at Quonset.
We're at Quonset, yeah, down at the Quonset Business Park. The railroad started in 1978, and we've been moving freight down there. So when the industry comes into Quonset, freight comes in from all over the country. At night, we move around the business park, give the raw materials to the customers. They produce something with it, and off we go, and we do it again the next day.
So you're operating in the park?
Yeah, absolutely, operating just in the park. We have 14 miles of railroad tracks just within the business park itself.
I don't think people know that.
No, they don't.
How come people don't know that? By the way, I don't know why people don't know the whole story of Quonset. You got to drive in one day. It's like its own universe.
It is.
It's this little, I don't know, what would you call it? A dimple. Geographically, you got to go down 402 or 403. I can never remember what road because now I'm a true Rhode Islander. It's that thing I remember the turn where it used to be, and whatever. But it's it's kind of like North Kingstown, and it's in the water. And once you get there, I mean, for the air show, you guys know how to get there. But for all intents and purposes, people don't travel down there unless they have a purpose. They work down
Absolutely.
there. There's 10,000 some odd people working down there. And,
Absolutely.
And you're running freight around the joint.
We're running freight all day, all night. So when you're out there sleeping, we're out moving freight. We're getting Rhode Island moving.
From whom to whom? Back in 14 miles within the system means what?
Okay, so what happens is all across the country, the businesses are ordering their raw goods. So we get goods from Seattle, Washington, L.A., Dallas, Texas. They all start moving their way towards Rhode Island. They gather up in Albany. They move to Worcester. And then from Worcester, they come down to Rhode Island every night. So Monday through Friday, you'll see a train that comes in from Worcester. And then once all those cars arrive at the Quonset Business Park, we take them, we figure out whose cars they are, and then we move them to the prospective client. And then they unload the rail cars, use the raw material. So it's pretty fun down there, to move in cars.
Yeah, honestly, I've had the tour, but I didn't really focus on the tracks. So the tracks must be pretty prominent throughout. There you go. Pretty prominent throughout the facility. So that's cool. So you're, rather than trucking this stuff all over the place, you're just kind of diverting some of the cargo trains. You're not taking. Are you taking the stuff out of a particular car and putting on another, or are you diverting the cars to different spots?
Yeah, I would say, as you described, we're diverting cars to different spots. Exactly. But we do have customers that are what we call offline. So we do take some commodities off the rail car and then truck it to a facility that's in Warwick. Actually, we deliver some freight. So each rail car handles 4 trucks. So if you want to buy bulk product, you know, the rail transportation is the most efficient, cost-effective way to move your freight. So if you're buying large sums of groups of lumber or plastics, automobiles, we put it on the rail and you bring it down to us. So we're taking 4 trucks. You know, for every rail car you see down there, we take 4 trucks off the highway and then we deliver it. So it's an economical way of doing it. So
environmental plus.
Absolutely, my environmental plus. So all the customers mostly are taking directly from the rail car to their production facility, but we do have some products that are moving off, you know, to other parts of Rhode Island.
Are you involved in taking all those vehicles off the ships and sending them out, or is that a different operation?
Well, that would be one of our customers. So we deliver the rail cars to them, and then once we're out of the scene, out of the picture, they take over from the rail cars and take them out and deliver them.
It's a crazy hub down there, huh?
Oh, it really is.
Quantify for me what the nature of the activity is. In other words, you're moving how much stuff around daily?
I would say 30 cars on an average, which is about 120 truckloads of freight every day we're moving around the business.
How many people do you have working for you?
Well, right now we have about 9 people.
That's all?
That's it.
9 people move that kind of stuff around?
Well, that's the efficiencies of the railroad, right? An engineer and a conductor can move a 100-car train, so an engineer and conductor can move 400 truckloads worth of freight. Pretty simple. And then we need, you know, the support staff. You need the mechanics. And
now, you're the president of Seaview.
Yes.
Seaview has been down there how long?
Since 1978.
Okay, you said that. My bad. Have you been down there?
I have not been down there since 78, that's for sure.
Okay, so tell me about your background.
Okay, so got into the trains. You know, Mom and Dad took me, took the railroad out around the Christmas tree, and you see the trains, and became a train guy. You know, Mom and Dad took me to a lot of different museums and different things, and just got hooked into the trains. Started here in Rhode Island, you know, learning a little bit more about trains. I actually knew the original owner of Seaview. Went to Bryan College. Got my education, and I had the opportunity to work for one of the bigger railroads. So I did work for a railroad out across the country, became a sales guy, and then just kind of worked in the industry, always in New England.
A sales guy in the railroad industry does what?
Tries to talk to customers, tries to get freight off the highway onto railroads, tries to get...
Okay, so you were enticing people to move their product onto the trains, off the roads.
Off the roads.
Showing the cost benefit of doing that. And
absolutely.
That's got to be a cool job.
Yeah, it is a cool job. It really is, because people want to save money. So I'm not trying to sell them something they don't want. I'm saving them something that they do want.
Does industry in general, off that sales exercise, how long did you sell for that big company?
Pretty much up until I took over the Seaview, so a good 20 years.
Does industry in general have a greater or lesser awareness of what the train industry provides?
If you're a bulk user of material, you're familiar with it's the folks that aren't bulk users but say, wait a minute, is there a better way to move freight? Again, we have a client up in Warwick that's not even on a railroad track, but they realize that I'm getting all these trucks. Is there a better way to move it than dealing with 6-10 trucks a day? And they called us up and they said, hey, is there a different way of moving freight? I said, yeah, bring it down to us and we'll offload it and truck it. So they're getting the benefit of the long haul rate, but they're still dealing with a local business.
I wonder with the current controversy we have in the state right now on the potential for tolling trucks, whether that's going to impact decisions by customers as to whether they're going to move their stuff via trucks or give Seaview a call or just the train industry a call. Or do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, I think it just adds another cost. So then what that does is, does that make trains even more cost effective? And so if tolling gets into play, it may be an opportunity to get some additional business. Helps take trucks off the highway in general.
You're also involved in a Newport project.
Absolutely.
All right, when we come back, that sounds like fun. Is that fun?
It's all fun.
It's all fun.
It's all fun.
Everything. Well, trains are fun.
Trains are fun.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, now this is a different project. So our guest owned Seaview Transportation. By the way, bought it 5 years ago. And just going back, if you just tuned in, you know, you can always check out everything we discuss here on foxprovidence.com. But that particular video that we just looked at is part of your, I got to make sure I call it the right thing, the Newport Narragansett Bay Railroad. Correct. Yes. Yeah, which is something you own as well. That's your business. Yes. But this Seaview Transportation that operates such important industry stuff down there, so much cargo that you're handling for all those companies. You bought that business 5 years ago. Yes. So that's a great American success story, right?
I mean, this is the, you know, middle America guy, you know, buying a railroad. Everyone says, oh, you need to be something bigger, Warren Buffett to buy a railroad. You don't.
You don't.
You don't. You can be the average guy driving by owning a railroad. Absolutely.
That's that's so funny. And just to put in perspective, the amount of volume of work we were just talking during the break, the growth has been significant.
Oh, it's been great. So I mean, in 1978, we were moving about 600 cars. The company.
Right.
Last year we hit a record. I mean, my guys and I mean, the great team that I have. I mean, we moved over 7,000 cars last year. Best year that we've ever had down there at Quonset Business Park. I mean, it was just phenomenal. That's over 28,000 trucks that we've taken off the highways now.
Gotcha. All right. So now you understand the impact that Seaview and the train industry, he is the train industry at Quonset, has had down there. People can take a peek and see the trains moving, you know, constantly,
absolutely,
you know, on the campus.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, train dude's not satisfied just moving cargo around Quonset. He's got to do something else really cool. And that video again, Jesse, you might want to throw that up again, just so everybody is reminded. This is kind of a cool night out, huh?
It is a cool night out.
Tell me about it.
So we operate the Newport Narragansett Bay Railroad. We offer rail dining, so you can take a train ride on our railroad and have a meal and watch the view go by. You can watch a murder mystery, or sometimes we have live entertainment on the train. So this is the fun part of the railroading.
What is this, the railroad version of like the Bay Queen?
It is the railroad version of the Bay Queen, absolutely.
Is the Bay Queen still running? I don't think it is anymore. I used to love the Bay Queen because that's where I got the leopard skin thing. That's where the first time I ever brought my family down to Rhode Island, we had dinner on the Bay Queen, and every woman was wearing leopard skin on the thing. I was just cracking up. Any leopard skin on the train?
Yeah, every once in a while, leopard skin, absolutely.
Absolutely. But is that? Tell me about the cycle of the business there. Is it running all year long?
No, that's a seasonal business. Okay. Obviously, I mean
in the nice weather.
In the nice weather. I mean, the winter operations in a railroad is tough. I mean,
sure.
Yeah. So it's a little less in the winter time, but we do run up through December. We do a lot of different holiday events. You know, so it's
What's the capacity of the train?
We can handle about 100, 110 people.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Is it something that's running all the time, or it's a charter project type of thing? Like,
well, we have a schedule. We pretty much run, you know, weekends, you know, Friday, Saturday, but we also offer charter services. So there's two different components. There's the walk-ons, we'll call that, but we do work with bus companies and different things.
What's it cost just to jump on the train?
Jump on the train for the meal. It starts at about $49 a ticket. You get a meal, train ride, get to see the Mount Hope Bridge, and look in people's windows every time when you go by them.
Okay, so
it's fun.
This is something I got to do. So where do you pick it up?
Right now we're in the Melville part of Portsmouth, you know, down.
Okay.
So we pick it up in Portsmouth, and then we go north. So we go underneath the Mount Hope Bridge up to about the Seconic River, and then we, you know, stop there, get a little scenic overview, and take a ride back. I mean, it goes a little bit through, you know, along Narragansett Bay, you know, some people's backyards, you know, so it's kind of a different perspective on seeing the island, you know, versus just by
And how long have you been running that?
Well, that's a technical question, right? I've been running that for about 3 years, but when I said earlier that I started in the railroad business in Rhode Island, I've been involved in that organization since probably '89.
So has it been running seasonally successfully since 1989?
Actually, when the freight railroad stopped in 1979, there was actually an organization from '79 that's operated. So that's one of the oldest railroad tracks in the United States that's been continuously operated. So yes, the dinner train's been there since '89.
That is so cool. Now, is that a hobby, or is that you do well with that?
We do okay with it. I mean, I wouldn't say we knock it out of the park, but it's a great way for us to connect to the public. I mean, that's how we can kind of, like as you were saying
We
before.
meaning the train industry.
The train industry. Can
You
connect.
feel like you're kind of an ambassador of the train industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, train travel isn't big as it was the old days, right? That's a secondary. So this is a way to kind of go back into time and say, how did people travel back in the 40s and 50s? I mean, our cars are from the 1940s and the 50s. I mean, they give you that old time kind of look. So it's fun. Yeah, it's a way to connect, the young people to get back into the train industry.
And I understand you have some thoughts about what's going on in the train industry, commercially, governmentally, and all that kind of stuff right now, right? You
Sure.
have some thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Good. And we come back, we'll talk about all the new thinking about the trains. Stay with us. So then there's the transportation, the serious transportation stuff. So, train industry in Quonset is part of our conversation here with Eric and his Seaview company. And then this, I just put a tentative date on the calendar to get that little dinner train going there. And I just want to make sure I refer to it right. The Newport, Narragansett, God, you know what? Without glasses, you can't. The Newport, Narragansett Bay Railroad.
Yes.
That's going to be on the social calendar, and it ought to be on yours as well. What do you think about the train industry right now and what government's trying to do? And it's like free passes out of Wickford now because we just can't get enough people from South County on there. And you have thoughts about where we are and where we should be? HighSpeed Rail, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot with the transit industry. Actually, we work with the MBTA, and actually we're working a lot with Connecticut Department of Transportation as well. I think there's things that we can.
Connecticut, how so? Because of the freight that you're moving in and out of Quonset?
No, we're actually doing some of their transit work, meaning their passenger service. So
we being Seaview?
Seaview Transportation, yeah, we're doing a little bit of contract work with the Connecticut Department of Transportation, working on some of their rail cars for a service that they're going to put in place here, shortly.
Meaning research and development, or,
no.
or
I mean,
maintenance?
actually, yeah, maintenance.
Maintenance,
and then once we're done with them, they'll be operational in the state of Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, if we look, Rhode Island Department of Transportation has built a good foundation. I mean, they've worked well with the MBTA, and there's train service to Rhode Island. I mean, they've done a great job with that. And I think if we look to the state of Connecticut, I think we can expand on that a little bit. The state of Connecticut. You always think about going into New York City. Well, they started what was called Shoreline East, which is an intrastate rail operation. So it moves between New London and New Haven for the local community, plus if you want to go on to New York. I think in Rhode Island, that type of system could work, where we have a network that goes through Providence into Boston. But we also have trains that just operate between Providence, Wickford, the airport, and eventually maybe Kingston Station. And what that does is that helps the local community, so that we can get the folks from Wickford to Providence to meet the needs of their time.
But it doesn't seem to be resonating. The idea that how do you create that market orientation?
Well, I
people
think
get out of their cars, get off 95, and get on the train.
We've got to develop, I think, a product. Expand on the product that's there. Better times.
You build it, they'll come.
They'll build it, they'll come. Great example, the air show. As you know, we work with the trains, the planes.
Right.
People were in their cars. Congestion happened. We built a system and a timing that was perfect for getting out of your car, taking the train from Providence down to the air show. I mean, we took 4,200 people down to the air show, took them out of their cars, took 1,200 people out of the car. How do we do that? Gave them a service that works within their schedule, and it's Rhode Island centric. So it fits what their needs were. Beyond, so you've got the residents on Rhode Island that have a need to get to Boston. You also have the residents have a need to get from Wickford to Providence, and build a network around that type of scenario where we can get, train service, more frequent train. Build on what's there, get more frequent train service, and I think that'll start getting the people.
You're a newfound resource for me. I'm going to start picking your brain as we go, because we've had so many conversations, on the radio over the course of time, in terms of what the future metro planning ought to be in terms of moving people and like. I will tell you, I've been very jealous over the course of time. My New York metropolitan birth / network of family and friends, and the orientation that they have to jumping on the train going into work in Manhattan and the like. I would salivate over that. I would love to be in a situation where in Cumberland, where I live, I could jump on the train that was running down 146 or whatever, you know, into the city, jump on another one out to East Providence. I mean, if we had that kind of visionary layout, I'd be excited about it. I mean, tell a story about going to a, where were we going? Oh, a Billy Joel concert last summer. I'm on 95 South with my wife and daughter, headed to the city, hit more traffic than I could. It was one of these things where my head was about to bust, and I pulled off in New Haven. I just pulled off. I was on a train with them in 10 minutes. We were downtown in the hotel, probably faster than I would have gotten to Bridgeport, and we're on the train with this kind of like, disposition. So now when I go to the city, I think, you know what? Why don't we just jump on the train? I think you can get people to think about that.
Sure.
But government moves so slow in terms of that kind of vision, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say that they move slow. I mean, you have to have that vision. You have to understand. I mean, again, looking at...
How do you plan the cost effectiveness of what I just talked about? Is it possible ever that, you know, you can jump on a train in Cumberland and get to East Providence?
Eventually. I mean, you've got railroad infrastructure, right? I mean, it's the first start. Start with the infrastructure and then build it from there. Certainly, there's a lot of, you know, cogs in the wheel, a lot of things, moving parts to get there, but you can always get there. You know, state of Connecticut, again, looking at them, you know, in your old stamping ground, they're starting a new trading service between, you know, New Haven and Springfield, Mass. I mean, that's a new service. That's what we're helping on. You know, the state of Connecticut says we're going to get the I-91 corridor out of their cars and into trains.
Another you know, terrific place to do it, because that's getting all clogged up, too.
It's getting clogged up. So,
and it takes away from the quality of life.
Yeah, absolutely. So can we get the Cumberland to these areas? Yeah, we can. We need to plan it out. We need to come up with the right schedules, you know, expand on what we have.
Do you get a chance to get into the head of Rhode Island transportation officials about this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, the Newport Narragansett Bay Railroad is a state-owned property, so we talk to the DOT quite often about different things. I mean, yeah, we have some conversations about different things like that.
The Paw Sox will benefit, if they ever get that deal done, from the station that they're trying to put in there. Some people scoff. You know, the lack of South County traffic with that new facility, I think, has got a lot of people saying, this is a waste of money. This is a taxpayer boondoggle. Your answer to that would be what?
I think it was a good investment, right? Because in the rail industry, you need to build the foundation before you can actually execute it. I mean, I have to have a rail infrastructure to get new customers. I have to build that rail infrastructure so that as new customers come online, I can build into it. Wickford's that. Wickford Station was something that was done 2007 type monies. That if we tried to build something today, it would have been a little bit more expensive. But now we've got that foundation. Now we can take what Rhode Island DOT has done.
Fertile ground, you think?
Absolutely, and expand on it. Once we get to an interstate type operation, a little bit more frequency, you're going to see Wickford Station take off.
All right. It's cool to be a train guy.
It's cool to be a train guy.
Yeah, you seem to be very happy in your lot of life in terms of what you've done. And this is no silly hobby. I mean, you've built a hell of a business and have had an impact on the economy of this community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what it's great is it shows that industry in Rhode Island's growing.
Yeah.
If my business is growing, industry in Rhode Island, people want to be here, industry's growing.
Good. Great to meet you.
Great to
meet you.
we're
going to make a date on that, what do we call it? The Newport
Narragansett Bay Railroad.
Where you can have dinner.
You can have dinner?
Got it. Nice to meet you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Final word and we come back. Reminded that, remember a few years ago that Quonset was so bad for the air show you couldn't get down there? Well, it's this effort that has eliminated the traffic. So take the train to the air show this year and beyond. Maybe we'll see you for dinner. Thanks for watching. That was fun. Good night.